Everyone, welcome back to Last Minute Christmas Ideas. So you'll notice all these words. It says eggnog, eggnog. I made a mistake there. Eggnog all over the page. I typed this on my typewriter. So then I had all of these spoons that were my grandmother's. And they're just kind of like random spoons. So I got Richard to bend them, and I was going to make them into ornaments, like Christmas tree ornaments, but I never got around to it. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to distress them up. You see, even that one has a little crack in it. Distress them up. I love this one. With some gesso. And then I'm going to put the word eggnog in there. And then I wrote out on the computer, it was my Nana's eggnog recipe, and there never was a recipe for it. And I've been making it for the last probably 15 years without a recipe. And so it's time to document these things down. So I have written the recipe. I'm going to attach it on a tag onto these spoons, which can also be an ornament or just hang in your kitchen or whatever. So it's my Nana's spoons and her recipe attached. And I think that's just going to be so cute. So I'll bring you along in the process, but the first thing I have to go do now is just cut out all my little eggnogs and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll be back. So I've gathered all my elements. I've got a ribbon. I inked around all the word eggnogs, all the eggnog words, I guess. And I'm going to use little woes. And remember the tags I created this summer? That, I have to say, was the best thing I ever did. I have used and used these tags for everything. And then I've got my words. And what I put is, these antique spoons we're taking from Nana's collection because we called my grandma Nana as well. And we're probably used to many recipes of our family eggnog. No one ever wrote this down. So about 15 years ago, I jotted it down as my mom was creating it. And I've been making it this way ever since. So it's Nana's authentic eggnog recipe. So get the whole thing there. So I cut that. Well, I'll show you the process. So the first thing I'm going to do is take one of these old spoons here, and I'm just, excuse my hand, I'm going to take a little bit of gesso in here, and I'm literally just going to dab it all over front and back this spoon, and then just wipe off the excess, just to give it a little bit of distress. Then I'm going to take gel medium, and on the other side of the spoon, I'm going to put the word eggnog. Okay, so my spoon is ready. So can you see I've got the eggnog on there? And then you can see the gesso incorporated in some of the cracks, and I did it all around the back as well. I love that this spoon has a crack in it. I think it's cool. It probably happened when Richard was flattening the spoons. But he said it was super easy to do. So for all intents and purposes, our spoon is done. I will embellish on it later. And before I was showing you, I had the description of the spoons and the recipe. So I split it right here where the recipe started. So the recipe is all by itself. So I've inked around both of those things, the description of the spoon and the recipe. Now I'm using these tags that I had pre-made, so you know you have to play around a little bit. So I don't know if you can see right there where the shadow where my finger is behind, there's a hole. So I'm going to make sure that when I glue the recipe on, I leave that space for the hole so I don't punch a hole through one of the recipe ingredients. So I'm just going to use gel medium just because it's right handy just to glue this on the back of the tag. And I will also do the exact same thing with the description. And you know, you don't have to have old vintage silver spoons. You could take an old recipe, a family old recipe, and just get an old wooden spoon and share the recipe with the entire family. Because there's always those recipes that we don't write down or that our parents didn't write down, and nobody's getting any younger, and it would be really nice to share these things. So anyway, get that all glued down, and I'll just distress the edge of this tag. I'm using a pink tag for this one, and this was colored with beets. Was it beet juice? Yes, so hard to remember so far in the summer. But honestly, that's the smartest thing I ever did, was spend that day coloring all those tags. And I remember thinking, will I ever use this stuff? So I'm just going on the other side and using my, crocodile, and just punching a hole right where that hole was. So can you see what I meant by leaving the space so we have the hole there? So, okay, so we got that side done. And then at the bottom of our tag, and again, if you don't want to make a tag, you can just make a rectangular piece of cardstock, whatever. The point is to make it easy, simple, and a cool, really different kind of gift that means something. I made a gift like this before, and it was just basically everybody's family tree and pictures, because I was too sick to go out shopping. That ended up being probably one of the most favorite gifts. I never thought it would be, but it was. Okay, so now we have our spoon, and we have our tag with this blank space and the recipe on the back. So what I did is I simply, so the spoon's going to be tied on like that. Sorry, my phone keeps going off, and I can't turn it off, and I don't want to waste time farting around with it. So I took some lace. It was this Stampin' Up! Lace here, and I cut it in half lengthwise. And then I've got some ribbon here, bias tape ribbon. I think Christina Betts gave me that. So I am just going to tie this in a knot around the neck of the spoon. Try and keep it even. And tie it in a knot around there. And then with the ribbon, I'm going to take and tie that in a bow. Oh, and what I was saying is you could do a recipe and get a wooden spoon from the dollar store if you don't have a silver spoon. I don't know if I said that or not. But you could just get a recipe, a good recipe, but any old spoon, any old kitchen gadget. It's just I think a neat thing. I always try to make things that I would like. I thought I had inked this lace, but I'm just going to quickly ink it like that. Just rub and then trim it off a little bit. There. And then I am going to add a rose just from my stash, and I just brushed it with Distress ink. And the best glue I know is either my glue from the Dollar Tree or Extra Heavy Gel Medium works the best, but it's outside in the art cabin. So I'm just going to use this gel medium I have here. This is the glue I'm talking about from the Dollar Tree. Do you guys know I bought a whole case? I went in there. I'm sure they thought I was crazy. I picked up the entire box, like the case, and bought it. So I'll be back when this is dry. So this is how they turned out. Isn't that the coolest, cutest thing? And then on the other side is the recipe. And they can hang this spoon in their kitchen somewhere or whatever. Won't be so awkward because it has that hook on it, Isn't that neat? And this is the one in the beigey tones. Exact same thing. So yeah, like I said, give this a try. Go to the dollar store and get a wooden spoon and decorate it a little bit and write a family recipe and glue a word on the spoon. And boom! And it doesn't have to be curved over like this. I can just hang this on a cupboard or a doorknob or leave the whole thing like this or whatever. The reason these were hooked like that is because I was going to make Christmas ornaments with them, and then I changed my mind. So, yeah, give these a try, guys. Another last-minute, super easy present. So I'm just going to go finish up the rest of them. And I hope you guys like this, and stay tuned. I think I have a couple more last-minute ideas. I'm going to have to get them posted because Christmas is right around the corner. And yes, I know today is December 18th. That much I got. Okay, we'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.